public read write transfer. So transfer, so what is it? This transfer button, so public read write transfer button is available only for two objects. One is read, another one is case. Okay, see one case. So none of the other standard or custom objects will have the read write transfer option. Okay, remember I'm just repeating, public read write transfer option is available only for the two standard objects called lead and case. Okay, see case. It will not have this transfer public read write transfer option for any standard or custom objects. Okay, so then we will arise a question. Okay, so we will get a question, what do you mean by? Okay, so under this we have seen already covered what do you mean by. So if you have confusion, again you can stop me here. So we already discussed about private, public read only. Okay, so public read write, so all these things we have discussed. Okay, so only lead and case will have special thing called public read write transfer. Okay, so we understood what do you mean by read write. So when I give the read write transfer for the lead object or for the case object, okay, or for the case object at OWD level, so that means everyone in the Salesforce are any user in the Salesforce are, okay. So when I give this permission, okay, so that means any user or users in the Salesforce are SFR, okay, who has a minimum of read and edit permission, okay, they can actually change the ownership of the no my spelling mistake, okay, of the lead or case record. So see, you may ask me a question. So see, ownership field is not specific to the lead object only or else to case object only. So if you go and see any other object, okay, on this, okay, so ownership is a field, that's a standard field. Okay, for any record we have the ownership. Okay, so why they are giving only the transfer? So what do you mean by transfer here means? So when I give the lead this permission, finally this OWD this thing, if I give along with the user, any user irrespective of their ownership, if they have the minimum read and edit access at their profile level, then they can actually transfer the ownership of the lead record from one user to another record. That means I can actually, if I give the transfer permission here, any user who has a minimum read and edit permission on the lead object at their profile level can actually come here and change the ownership. Okay, so if I don't give this one, so any user, okay, so cannot transfer the ownership, okay, of the lead object record from one user to another user if they don't have the edit access. Clear? So one thing is, if you are giving the public read write transfer, basically you are giving the permission to or ability to transfer the ownership of the lead object record from one user to another user. Okay, so see, lead actually, so in our Salesforce process, lead actually represents what does the lead? Okay, lead actually what do actually interested parties? Okay, interested parties are users or customer interested users. Okay, in users means interested parties are people, okay, who actually showed, okay, so people in our product or service. So lead actually represents the work item. Okay? So I can say work item. So why I am saying the lead represents the work item? So because when I have the lead, I need to follow up with the leads to check whether they are interested to buy. Okay, whether they are interested to buy my product or not. Okay, my product or service. Clear? So that is the reason lead object is actually work item. Similarly, case object is also work item. Case, what is the case? So case is a customer complaint. So again, so this also is a work item. So why I am saying work items? Case is something which represents that it is a work item. That's like someone needs to work on it to proceed further. Okay, so basically lead also I need to assign it to someone in order. So basically if I assign maybe Gurtej a lead, so then it is his responsibility to make a calls to that lead or else to visit that lead, or else visit that lead related company office and then explain about our product or demo about service, then make them convert to the maybe customers. Okay, so lead, that's the reason I'm saying here lead represents the work item, also case also represents the work item. So whoever owns these two things, so it's their responsibility to work on or complete on that one. Okay, so none of other objects in the Salesforce are, so there are other standard objects, I don't want to get into that. So as of now, if you see lead and case object represents a work item. So that is the reason when we say ownership, see, you may ask me a question. Oh, so see, we have the ownership on account also, we have the ownership opportunity also. So are you saying that so account and opportunity will not represent the work item? No, account and opportunity will not actually represent the work item related. So it's a, see, account actually represents the customer related company. So once this lead gets converted into the customer, we will create the account. Okay, so that account will be actually the word. Okay, so customer related company. For example, if I convert this lead to by clicking on here, so whatever the company that have Cardinal Inc with this name, an account record gets created. Okay, so basically account record, if you go to the account record, so those represents the customer. So when we will call them customers, once this guy says that I'm interested to buy your product, so I want to become your customer, then only we'll convert it. So basically this conversion process is actually work item related. Similarly, once I convert it, once I click on the convert, okay, so account record with this Cardinal Inc will get created. Okay, so for this, once I click on the convert, so for the same account record, one contact also gets created with the same name. Clear? So why I'm explaining all these things means, so ownership represents, it is this person's responsibility to work on this lead. Okay, so and it is a work item. So case and lead are the work item, represents a work item. So because of that reason only, they have specifically given the lead right transfer. Basically, we are giving explicitly at the OWD level. If I give the public lead right transfer, so all the users, okay, so they can actually do that ownership transfer also. Are you clear on this one? Any confusion?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, and there is one more thing called controlled by parent. Okay. So controlled by parent is also will not be available for everything. Okay. It will be available for only the child objects. If you see controlled by parent, so it is available on the contact asset. Okay. So that means, for example, for contact object, account is a parent. So whatever the OWD that I have for my parent of this object, that is account, the same thing will be applicable for this object also. So I don't want this object to have the special OWD. Whatever this parent object is having the OWD, the same thing I want to apply it. Okay, so then you can actually select it. For example, if you want different OWD, then you can select. But if you want the same thing of this parent, then you can select the controlled by parent. That's it. Okay. So even when you have the master detail relationship, okay, for example, teacher and student, okay, so student is the child object and teacher is the master record. Okay, so then you can actually give the controlled by parent. Okay, so then whatever you apply OWD for the teacher object, the same thing will get applied. Okay, and ignore about this default and external access. It comes under different thing called community cloud. Okay, we have something called community cloud. So community cloud, so when you learn any feature, when you learn about community cloud, then this default external access will be applicable, will make sense. As of now, it will not make sense. Okay. So community cloud, so you may ask me a question again. So I heard about sales cloud, I heard about service cloud, I heard about revenue cloud, but okay. So health cloud and all. What is this community cloud? Okay. So using the community cloud, okay. So Salesforce, okay, Salesforce. Okay, Salesforce community cloud, without any coding, we can build websites. Okay, websites. Okay, with a predefined templates. Okay, predefined templates of UI. So how and when, it is not our scope of discussion now. So basically, this default external access. Okay, so we can create a websites. Okay, so by going to the sites here. Okay, if you go here on sites. So here, if you see, okay, so sites here, there, okay, so if you go here, so you can actually create the website. So using that website, you can actually See, Salesforce sites enables you to create a public website. That means once the website is created, as a public who do not have access to Salesforce org also can access the URL that I give to them. Okay. So that's what they are actually saying. Okay. So there, for example, on that website, if you want to expose any Salesforce data, so that's where this default external access comes into picture. So as of now, in order to understand this one, we need to learn about community cloud. That is not the scope of this training. Okay, but you should understand what is the site. So without any coding using the Salesforce, you can simply drag and drop and click on the button and the site will be created. Okay, so see, that's what it's public websites also you can create. Okay. So to that public websites, we can also give the few users to login access and few others without login access also they can see. Okay, and if you have so if you provide the login access to the website also, they can have certain other privileges. Okay, so see, once I click on this one, so it will actually create one site domain will be created. Okay, so see, create multiple sites. So you can create in one Salesforce org you can create the multiple websites also. Okay, so and this sites will be hosted on, as I go through this one. Okay, so this sites will be hosted on Salesforce servers and all. Okay, so this is just what is site. Okay, so when we go for the default external access and this is not needed now. Okay, now we are clear on what do you mean by controlled by parent, controlled by public and private. Okay, so ignore about this use as of now. Okay, ignore that. Okay, so and don't focus on too much hide details and add events, ignore about. So only focus on public read only, public read write transfer, and when we use what. Okay, so I hope you are clear so far. If not, please let me know. Okay, so now in last class, okay, so what we did, so we actually made the lead object, okay, for the lead as private, and we have seen the we removed the modify all view all. Okay, so at the profile level for this all marketing admin, then we actually logged in as this Govardhan, and we have seen that this guy is not able to see any lead records except his ownership record. If you see here, okay, see if I remove the stand, okay, lead modify all and stan final object permission. If I remove this view all modifier here, okay, so for example, I don't have view all modifier. Okay, so then if I save it, so once I log in as this user, okay, once I log in as this, ignore this. Okay, so once I log in as this profile user, okay, this profile user do not have view all modifier. That means now when I have the OWD as private, let me refresh it. Okay, so any user, not only this profile user. Okay, if they do not have view all records, and if I have the private, so then they will be able to see the lead records only they are the owner of. For example, if I go ahead and log in as this assigned user, you already seen this one, but just a recap. Okay, duplicate it. And go to the view users and log in. Then he should not be able to see any records where he is not the owner of. Okay, for example, if you go to the lead records, you should be able to see only the lead records where he is the owner of. Okay, I'll see all open leads. See, if you see G RAS, like Govardhan RAS, like if you click on here, okay, so if I click on here, it will just open it. It's like a hyperlink. So he's not able to see, there are many lead records, but he is able to see only three lead records, because the OWD I have put as private, and in profile level I haven't given the this view all. Since he do not have view all, he cannot see, okay, any lead records where he is not the owner of, and we have given the private. So together we need to understand it together. Okay, so it's not like OWD is different and the profile level of this view all modifier is different. If I give the view all, even though then we have the private, then if I give the view all at profile level and if I refresh, you will be able to see all the lead records irrespective of ownership. Wherever he is not the owner of the records, also you will be able to see. That we have seen. Okay. Now this point we have seen in the last class. Now let's focus on. So now we have seen the OWD. Now let's focus on sharing rules. Okay. We have seen the in sharing settings. We have two things. One is OWD. And we have the sharing rules. Okay. So let's focus on sharing rules. So for each and every object, the object name and sharing rules will be there, right? So now click on the new sharing rule. So why we need to use the sharing rule? Okay, so before going to discuss about why we need to use the sharing rule, so just focus on there are two types of sharing rules. One is ownership based sharing rule, one is criteria based sharing rule. Okay, so that means I can share a record. So why, see, we already have the OWD, we already have the proprietary level. Then what is the purpose of the sharing rules? Okay, again for each and every object, that's what we are going to discuss now. So as of now, you just focus on, there is a concept called sharing rules. So there are two types of sharing rules. One is ownership based, owner based, criteria based. So and when, okay, and why we go for each thing, then we'll discuss it. Then before that, when I go for ownership based and when I go for the criteria based, before that, so what is the purpose of sharing rules is the question for us. So we are okay. So now, if you see it here, I have set the OWD as private. That means, okay, only the owner of the record can see their records. Okay, so they will not be able to see any lead records where they are not the owner of. That point we are clear. So as long as they don't have the view all records. For example, I don't want to view the view all records here, so that I don't want any user I don't want any user to see the lead records where he is not the owner. Okay. Now, except see, I am not going to, I am not interested to provide the view all records, but so I have a requirement. So wherever the lead record, okay, industry equals to, for example, wherever the lead record industry equals to agriculture. So those lead records, I would like to, irrespective of the owner, I would like to share it with the Govardhan Ras. Clear? Now, for example, let's say I have a Hemant Ras, okay, is the lead record. For example, is the lead record I have. Okay. Where Nanda, I mean, so in this case, so I am the owner, for example, I am the owner. Okay, for example, this current user access policy is the owner. Okay, for example, is the owner. Okay. Now this Hemant Ras lead record industry field is agriculture. Okay, agriculture. Okay. Now okay. So though Govardhan Ras is not the owner of this Hemant Ras record, I would like to share this record. So not only this record, wherever the lead records industry is agriculture, okay, those records, even though Govardhan Ras is not the owner, I would like to share all the lead records wherever the industry equals to agriculture. I would like to share only those lead records where industry equals to agriculture to different user who is not, okay, to different user means, what do you mean by different user? So to the user who is not the owner, for example, for this, for example's sake, for the sake of example, if I have the Hemant Ras who's in lead record, okay, for example, let's suppose Brenda is only the, okay, for example, if industry equals to agriculture, and if owner is not Govardhan Ras, but I would like to show this record, I would like to expose this record to Govardhan Ras, though he is not the owner. For example, now what I will do, so are you clear on the requirement? So as of now, only the owner of the record can see their records. For example, let's take one example, okay, where I will log out as this user. Okay. Okay, I already logged. Okay, for example, log data. Okay. Refresh it. Right, I'll build a log. 1 minute. Okay, now I just logged in as system administrator again. Now what I will do, what I'm trying to say here is that see, I am the system administrator user. Okay, now I will be able to see all the records irrespective of the owner. Okay, so now if I go here, now See, only these three records will be visible for Govardhan Raj if I log in as that user. Now, I would like to show this record also, okay, to Govardhan Raj without changing it to the ownership to Govardhan Raj. Clear? Are you clear on the requirement? Hello? Without change, if I change it, see, what if I want to, when Govardhan Raj logs in, if Govardhan Raj needs to see this record, I can do one thing, okay? Whether I can actually modify Govardhan Raj profile to view all, okay? By doing that, you will be able to see all the lead records, irrespective of the owner. But I don't want to show him or, okay, give that permission, all the records. I want to provide the read permission only to the lead records. Okay, so without modifying this lead ownership. Okay, see, giving the view all is one way. By doing that, you will be able to see all the lead records where this guy user access policy is owner. That is one way. Other way of sharing this record is that by simply editing this lead records and updating it to the Govardhan Raj. So that is one way. I don't want to update this ownership and I don't want to give the view all records, but still based on certain criteria of this record, I would like to share a record. So my requirement is that, so based on the industry, I would like to share that. Okay, if agriculture is the industry, so then whatever the lead records are wherever the lead records industry is agriculture, automatically I want to share those records to that Govardhan Raj, even though those record ownership is not Govardhan Raj. Clear? Are you clear on the requirement now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so now what is the condition that I am giving? So condition is wherever the lead industry equals to agriculture, share only those records, okay, to that Govardhan Raj, who is a different profile user than this user, and okay, who is not actually the owner. So Govardhan Raj should not be the owner, but still you want to see the ownership of few records, not all the records, only the records wherever he is not the owner, but industry equals to agriculture. So how can I do that? So that's where I can use the criteria based sharing rules. Okay, so sharing rules I can say, okay, so basically in OWD, okay, if I give private, only the owner can see it, but I want to give the exception to it, give exception to it based on condition. Okay, based on condition. Okay, so what is C? The condition can be anything. So my condition is if agriculture, if industry of the lead, industry of the lead is agriculture. That is my condition. See, in your company and in your use case, it can be agriculture, it can be industry, it can be lead source, it can be company, it can be anything. So it should not be always the same field. See, industry field should be agriculture is my way of explanation of explaining that. So in your real case, you can have multiple conditions. Industry should be this, and annual revenue should be that, and both conditions should satisfy. Then only you share the record. So it can be anything. So to keep it simple, I am taking only simple example. Now what I will do, I will create one rule. Okay, I will create one rule on the sharing settings. Okay, and sharing rules. Okay, the lead object. So if I go and log in as Govardhan now, he will not be able to see that record. But okay, now if I make this as a okay, so now if I log in now also, he will not be able to see this lead record because Govardhan Raj is not the owner and he don't have the view all also. Now how can I share this record without modifying the ownership to the Govardhan Raj? So that's where I prepare the condition. Share agriculture ownership records. Okay, records. So there are two things, rule type. So ignore about this owner record one now. So give the criteria. So you can see. Okay. So on lead object. Okay. What are these are all the fields that supports the sharing rules. Okay. So based on this condition. Okay. So I'll check industry is supporting. Okay. So wherever for whatever the industry lead records. Okay. Industry value equals to, so agriculture is the only, say you can select multiple things. Okay, for example, wherever the agriculture industry equals to, lead industry equals to agriculture or apparel, then I want to share that to different user. Then I can select the both. So as of now, I'll keep it simple. Okay, wherever the lead industry equals to agriculture, only those things I want to share. Okay, now see, this is the on which object you want to create a sharing rule. For each and every object, you have the sharing rules. Okay, on that you need to click on the new, and just like we give the label for the any validation rule similar to that, we need to give the label, and this will be the API name, and description is not mandatory. You can explain what you are going to do here. Okay, so for example, based on so and so conditions, or based on because of Jira ticket, so and so Jira ticket, I will refer this Jira ticket or mention this Jira ticket. I am doing that. So my criteria, rule type will be the criteria. So wherever industry equals to agriculture, clear. But when that condition is satisfies, with whom I need to share. So ignore about this check marks. So you can write multiple conditions, guys. Okay, as I mentioned. Okay, so okay. But okay, so if that condition, to whom you need to share. So you need to share. See, you can share it with the public groups or roles and internal subordinates. Okay. Now, so if you give here, for example, if you see, you do not have user section here. Okay, so you cannot share it with the single user. Either you can share it with the public group or roles and role and subordinates. So you may ask me a question: what do you mean by public group or role and subordinates? So see, basically I'm expecting a user section here, and if I select that user, okay, so I should be able to select that user. Okay, maybe Gordhan Raj. But this is not supporting the user directly. So basically, whatever the lead record that supports here, I would like to share it with any of these three things. Okay. Before discussing about this one, we should understand what do you mean a public group. Okay. So we have something called public group. Public group. So public group. Okay. So public group is just like a group of users. Just like we have WhatsApp group, Facebook group. Public group is also set of users. That's it. Okay. So, for example, I have very large Salesforce org. So, few people are working from Australia, few people are working from USA, few people are some random, okay, across different maybe. See, not only from, it can be different states or it can be different countries. Okay. So, I would like to create a common group. For example, see, this group is just like a WhatsApp group, guys. That's it. Nothing much to confuse. Okay. So, you can create maybe a number of users in a common group. For example, all the South India people, or all the marketing admins, or all the IT support. Okay. So I would like to create one common group. Okay. For the common purpose. Okay. So just like we create any public, Teams or group or WhatsApp group or Facebook group. Okay. So simply there is nothing much to confuse here. We can combine multiple Salesforce user into a single group, just like WhatsApp. That's it. Okay. So for example, you can create a new group here. Okay. Now, to whom and all you can add members of the group. Okay. So you can give the name of the public group here. Okay. So why I'm coming here? Because I will come back here. Okay. So whenever this lead record gets satisfied, okay. So I would like to share. I cannot share it with the individual users. I can only share it with the public groups or to the roles and internal subordinates. Okay. Now we are discussing about the public group. So public group is just a simply group of users. Okay. That's it. Okay. Now what I will do, all India IT support or hardware support. Okay. Hardware support, or else sales team offshore. Okay. That's it. So this will be group name. Okay. So to whom and all who are all the people to be part of this public group. So I can actually add as individual users. Okay. So this, if I select the users, it will display all the users of this particular Salesforce. Okay. I can select any one or other user. So I can select multiple users also. Okay. So I can select public groups also. If I select any other public group, so this public group contains Gordhan Raj as a member and all the members of this technical support team. Okay. So whoever is part of this technical support public group will also be part of this All India Sales Offshore. Clear? So that means one public group can contain the individual users or the other public groups also. So if I don't want to add individual users of this public group, then if I add this public group as it is, all the members of this public group also will be the part of this public group. Will be this public group. Okay. That means we can make, for example, we have something called roles also. We'll discuss about that. So okay. So if you go here, roles. Okay. So we have something called roles. So if you go and open any user, okay, any user, if you see something called role section is the role. Okay, see. So role is an optional field on the user. Okay. So role actually represents the organizational hierarchy. So see, remember I'm discussing about settings. Since we have the public group, I came to public group, and while adding the users, we can add another public group. I can also have the roles. Since we have the roles, my discussion is on again went to the roles. Okay, so roles actually represents the organizational hierarchy. For example, CEO. Then under him we have the chief financial officer. Then we have the chief marketing manager. Then we have the South India, North India. So these things. So under North India manager we have the like South maybe. So next we have this Kerala manager, like that organization hierarchy. So we have the roles. Role hierarchy is nothing but any organizational hierarchy. That's a executive staff under whom. So who is actually reporting to him. Okay. So these roles and all we can actually configure within the Salesforce. Okay. So this is just a visual representation. Okay. So when you have the time, okay, click on here and type the roles and read through this one. What do you mean by okay? See each and every point you wrote through it. Now, by seeing this image, you can see you understood what do you mean by roles, right? So it represents to whom I need to report. So this guy is reporting to this guy, and this guy again reporting to this. This represents the organization hierarchy. Okay. So if you click on the setup roles, and if you click on the expand all, it will display all the roles that we have inside our Salesforce app. Okay. The chief operating officer is reporting to this guy, and the chief CEO we have this guy, this role, and this one. Okay. So in your Salesforce app, you can actually assign you can actually assign only one role to single user. For example, even if you don't assign any role, you can save a record. Okay, so that one point you should remember. And see, while creating a user or while modifying a user, role is always optional field. It's not mandatory field. Okay, so you may get confused. So whenever you have the role, so it's a red color mark, we should always give no. For role is an exception. Role is always optional. Even if you don't give, you can create save edit a user record. Okay. If you give the record, okay, for example, installation and repair services, okay, save it, okay. So that means, so see, one user can be assigned only one role at a time, but this role can have multiple users. Okay, for example, just like we have the profile, okay, so one user can have only one profile at a time, but the same profile can be assigned to multiple users. Similar to that, one user can have only one role at a time, but the same role can be assigned to multiple users. Are you clear on this point? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. So now, why? See, we will again discuss about the roles. Why I'm discussing now about roles means, see, we can create the merge. For example, I want to create one separate role who needs to report to customer support. For example, customer support Dubai I need to create. I can create an add role. Okay. We will give the role label and name. And if you click on the same, what are the roles that you are going to create? Okay, for example, Dubai support team. Okay. Now, this guy, whoever I assign, for example, if I create the new user, okay, I would like to assign that guy. I can assign this role to that. Okay. Then that newly created, for example, if I create the Raja Babu. Okay. So if I create the new user and if I give this this guy Dubai support team as role while creating, okay. So I have another user maybe, okay. So like Martin, okay. So whose role is this one, for example, whose role is this one, okay. Now technically, Raja Babu will be reporting to Martin because we are creating a role, okay. Once I create the save, okay. Once I create the save, so and okay, so. Well, if I go ahead and create the new users, okay, new users, okay, and if I assign this Dubai support team, so that guy will be reporting to the Martin, okay, who is actually related to this one. So basically, this represents. So the Raja Babu is subordinate of Martin, okay. So because of this hierarchy, for example, see, CEO is a subordinate, okay. So Dubai support team is reporting to this guy, and this guy is reporting to this guy, and this role is reported to this guy. Okay, so this is called organizational hierarchy. Role is represents the organizational hierarchy. So why I'm explaining these things means I can actually select that roles. For example, if I select any one role here, okay, so all the people who assigned with this marketing team, okay, all the users, okay, who has this marketing team role, okay, will be also part of this India sales team offshore. So instead of adding individual users, if we add the role itself, then one role can be assigned. Since we have the concept of one role can be assigned to multiple users, So all the people, all the Salesforce users who assigned with this assigned with the role called marketing team in this user details, okay, for example, okay, will be automatically part of this public group. Are you clear on creating a public group? Any confusion? Hello?
No,
Can you
no.
please repeat once? I'm so sorry.
Are you clear on the role hierarchy?
Yes.
So basically role hierarchy represents the organization's hierarchy structure. That's it. For example, if you have manager, then some like north south manager, okay, maybe hardware related manager. See, it cannot be role hierarchy cannot be always maybe what you call maybe reason based. It can be Salesforce team manager and then Python team manager. Then we can have the, or else we have the software solutions manager and then hardware solutions manager. Under them we have the south source. Okay, so we can have multiple hierarchy of the roles. So you are clear on the roles, right? This is the role hierarchy path. You can create the multiple roles. Okay, so you can add the users to this role. For example, if you want to assign the for example, we don't have any users assigned with this role. Okay, but okay, how can you add the users to this role? One is by going here and then editing it here, and you can select this role, okay, called maybe Dubai. Okay, you can actually select that. So this is one way. Okay, this is one way. But if you want to add multiple users to the same role at a time, they can click on the assign users to this role. Okay, if you click on here, okay, then you can select the users. Okay, for example, all unassigned if you select, okay, so it will give all the users who do not have any role assigned now. Okay, for example, you can select multiple users at a time. If you click on here and if you click on the save, okay, so all the users that have selected from left to right will be assigned with the Dubai support team role. Okay, see, this is mass assigning of the roles at a time. Okay, from the role user interface. But if you want to individually assign the roles, you can actually go to that specific user, edit that user and select the whatever the role that you want to assign. So in this case, Dubai support team. Okay, so this is a role hierarchy. Okay, so if you want to mass assign multiple users, okay, at a time, if you want to assign for example 10 users, I want to assign this Dubai support team at a time. So then you can actually click on assign the users, and it will see. If you want to see all the users who are not assigned with any role now, then if you click on here, so it will give all the users list who do not have any role assigned as of now. Then you can select, so for example, integration user, then security user. So if I click on the same, these two users automatically get assigned to this Dubai support team role. And else you can go individually and you can add also. So that point you are clear, right? Now let me come back to the profile. Sorry, public group. So as I mentioned, public group is a just group of multiple users creating. We are just creating them together. Okay, for one common purpose. Okay, clear? So while adding the users to the public group, we can add individual users by clicking on the users, and you can select from left to right, or else you can add the role itself. Okay, for example, role. So all the users who are part of this role, all the users who is assigned with this role will become automatically part of this public group. Clear? For example,
Yes.
if I have 10 users with the Eastern sales team, all the 10 users, I don't need to manually go here and select the row edit here. If you want all the Eastern sales team to be part of this India sales team, then it's better to select that role. So for example, tomorrow, if I create a new user called Mohan, and if I assign that user with the Eastern sales team, he will be part of this public group automatically because we are assigning this Eastern sales team role. Okay, whoever is assigned with the Eastern sales team role it will be automatically part of this public group. Okay, see, if you select the role, whoever assigned with this role will be automatically become part of this public group. Clear? Any confusion? Hello?
No, bro.
No.
No confusion, right? Okay. Now, so there is one more concept here called roles and their subordinates. Subordinate means if you just simply select the role, people who are part of that role will be become the members of this public group. But if you select the roles and its subordinates, okay, and if you select anything here, left to right, now not only marketing team, I mean not only people who are assigned with the marketing team role, also the people who are just below the marketing team, marketing, for example, what do you mean by just below that? For example, if you go here, okay, and if you click on next, okay, you see marketing team. See, if we have for example, if I have the maybe ABCD roles under this one, if you select the subordinates, okay, if I have any sub roles, okay, for example, marketing team south, marketing team west, if I have four roles, okay, not only so I will be making part of, when I select the internal subordinates also, not only marketing people who are assigned with the marketing team, if there is any hierarchy, lower hierarchy people roles, okay, for example, if I select the, for example, let me take here any simple example. Okay, for example, if I select the VP North Sales, VP North American Sales, for example, okay, remove this one, okay, VP North American Sales, North American Sales, okay. If I add this one, not only just single role and internal subordinates also, okay. If I select that, all the people who are assigned with this VP North Indian Sales role will be part of this public group. Not only that one, okay, for example, not only that one. So people who are assigned with the director sales channel role, I mean director sales channel role, and people who are assigned with this role called the channel sales team, okay, and people who are assigned with this, all these people, internal below subordinates, assigned role assigned people also will become this part of this public group. Are you clear now? What do you mean by roles and internal subordinates? Hello?
Yes, Anji.
So that's what this public group says that, okay. Now this person, I mean in sharing settings, they are not allowing to share it with the individual user. So they are allowing me only to share it with public groups. So I made this Govardhan as part of one public group. See, these two things I just added just for sake of explanation purpose. But as of in real time, so for example, with which public group, okay, or with whom I need to share, I'll create a public group with that user. Then I'll come here and refresh again. So since I created this newly, it will not automatically come here. I will refresh it again. I will take the I say agriculture lead again. And take the agriculture equals to criteria. Industry equals to agriculture. Okay. Now to whom we need to share, then you select the public group. What is that? Sales team offshore. Now, see, now this is the lead access. We have two things: lead, read only, and write. That means if I give read only, okay, if I give read only, the people who are part of this public group will get a only read access. Okay, read access for those leads wherever the lead industry equals to agriculture. Clear? See, I shared with this public group, not to individual users. So now all the people who are assigned this role will be able to see that record, only read. They will not be able to edit it. Okay. All the people who are part of this role and their subordinates assigned role profile, I mean subordinate role assigned users also will be able to read that record. All these people, all the people who are part of this public group also will be able to see that record. As of now, ignore about these things. I just explained about how can who will be part of any public group. So to explain that, I just added all these things. For example, as of now, we just shared with this public group. Okay, so Govardhan is one of the member of it. Now log in as this user. Okay, Govardhan. Okay. Now previously he is able to see only the records, only where he is the owner. Now based on our sharing rule, he should be able to see the records where he is not the owner. There is a new record also. Okay, where he is not the owner, also you should be able to see. Now, see, user access is the owner of this record, but still this guy, Govardhan, is able to see that record because based on the sharing rule, criteria based sharing rule, we are explicitly sharing only this record. Now, if you log out this user and if you update any other 5 or 6 records, industry equals to agriculture, those records will automatically again will be shared with this user because it is satisfying that sharing rule. Clear? Are you clear now how the sharing rule works?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's see whether he is able to edit this record or not. No, I just company limited. I am just giving. Sorry, let me give it again. Company limited. Something. See, oops, you don't have necessary privileges to edit this record. See your administrator because when see he is not the owner first thing, and he don't have the modifier permission. Okay. If the profile level, if he has the modifier, so even without any sharing rules, you will be able to modify other ownership record also. Since we didn't give modifier, you will not be able to see edit the other ownership records. Now, why is not able to edit it? We are only giving the read-only access. Okay, for this share. See, this record is shared not because he is the owner of the record. Okay, he is not the owner of the record. So this record is shared with him because of this sharing rule. We are giving only read-only. So that is the reason he will not be able to edit it. Now, what I will do, just log out is this. Is that now not only share that record, you also give the edit permission. Okay, not only read only, you edit permission also. Now, you see the calculation happens. Okay, whenever you change something, recalculation happens. That means it will recalculate based on this rule what to whom and all I need to give this what level of permission and all it will check. Okay, now I give the read and edit permission. Now he should be able to not only read, he should be able to edit also. That means he should be able to make edits to update to that lead record. Clear? Well, he is not the owner, but still he should be able to read it. He is able to read it, but he should be able to edit also. Okay, correct. Okay, so something like this. Okay. Now he is able to edit also. See, because you have given the edit permission. Clear, right? Or is it somewhere you have given this? Any confusion so far? Now I can modify any other lead records. I can update the industry as agriculture. Then he will be able to see those lead records also. Clear? Now you have given only this one. See, the condition can be complex. It can be and or conditions also you can give. Just for explanation purpose, I kept it very simple. But in real time, you can have n number of conditions also to share a record. That's it. If I make this as an industry, Patricia figure is what I'm going to update as agriculture. Now, once I log in, you should be able to see Patricia figure also. I click on all. See, is not able to see any other records. Only the records which is aggregated. So though is not the owner, is able to see it because of this sharing rule. Clear on this point, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if for example, if I go ahead and update this agriculture to something else, now the condition is not since okay. So this guy since he's able to edit any other thing, for example, figure 1. Okay. It does back agriculture. We have given the edit permission, right? Let me. Does not our CEO or CF. Let me refresh it once again. Oh, okay. Maybe since we updated that, it got. See, Patricia figure, that one got what you call disappeared. Maybe because I updated the what I updated industry. Okay, let me come back here. Okay, so previously updated. So once I logged in as that user, I tried to update it to the different user. Let me try it. Okay. Oh, see, I logged out as that Gordhanas. See, now when I logged in as Gordhanas, I tried to update the industry itself. Okay, from agriculture to biotechnology. Okay, so if you see, last modified is Gordhanas. What I updated? So biotechnology I updated. Okay, So as soon as updated, it no longer satisfies that criteria called industry agriculture. So that is the reason I was no longer able to see it. Got it? Clear, right? So as long as this criteria satisfies, then it will be shared. Once this criteria gets, see, it's not like once you, for example, now once you make it as agriculture, you'll be able to see, it will not, you will have the visibility permission forever. No, it will be stay within the visibility permission as long as this record satisfies this criteria. Yeah. So once you revoke that permission, or once your record no longer satisfies that permission, then you will not be able to see that record. Okay, it's not like once you share it, you will have the visibility like forever. No, it's not going to do like that. So once this criteria revokes, or okay, if it no longer satisfies, then you will not have access. It's not like once you give the access, then again if you change the conditions, I mean data, it will not be shared indefinitely. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now we discussed about sharing. So the same thing. See, this is just one example. So we cannot go for each and every object. The same logic. I request you to put Apache object as a private and create a. I mean, whatever I have done similar to that, you just explore it. Clear, right? You should be able to explain these things in an interview process. What is that? So there is one more thing called criteria. See, criteria based sharing rule we have discussed. So there is one more thing called. See, you can create n number of sharing rules, okay, on a single object. It's not like only one rule, okay. So we discussed about this criteria based sharing rule. So we also need to discuss about ownership based sharing rule, okay. So for example, what do you mean by ownership? For example, if I am, for example, if I am the owner, okay, if I am part of maybe expert support, okay, then I would like to share this record to tier 3 support. So what do you mean by this ownership based sharing? Okay, for example, so we need to select. So we already seen what do you mean by criteria based sharing rule. Okay, if you have any confusion, please let me know. Now focus only on this ownership, record ownership type sharing rule. Okay, see, when they ask in interview, you should be able to tell that there are two types of sharing rules. Okay, see, sharing settings are different. There are two types of sharing settings. One is OWD, then sharing rules. OWD defines the base level of access. For each and every standard object, we have three types of sharing model. One is private, public read only, public read write, but only for case and lead, we have the public read write transfer also. But for child objects, we have the controlled by parent option also. Then if you have the private, what do you mean by private? Just like only the owner of the record will be able to see their ownership records, not any other records, as long as they don't have the view all modify all the profile. Like that, you should be able to explain in the interview without any confusion and without any hasty way. Okay, that means you should not go too much fast. You should not go too much hasty way. Keep calm and okay. So keep your explanation not too much hasty, but not too much slow. So go as if you are speaking or as if you are explaining to your friend. Okay, so that he can understand. So like that, you should be able to explain. Okay. So what do you mean by private? You will explain. So what do you mean by public read only? I mean, those things are all you will need to explain. Then we have the sharing rules. Sharing rules, I can say simply, it's like we are based on certain conditions, we are exposing the records. Okay. Then normally we will not be exposing because of private, because of so and so reason. We are exposing only specified conditions. We are not exposing all the lead records, only certain records only, like that. So while exposing also, we have two types. One is criteria based, ownership based. We have seen this example. Now ownership based. What do you mean by ownership based? Okay. So read about this one. So owned by members of. Okay. For example, I want to share a lead record. So wherever the owner of the record is part of this public group, automatically share this public group members. That means if any lead record, if the lead record owner, for example, we take any lead record. If this guy is part of this expert support team, okay, then automatically share that lead record with all the members of this public group. Got it? See, any lead record, for example, if you have 100 records or 1000 records, okay, I want to share only the lead records Okay, if those lead records owner is actually part of this public group, then automatically share this users with this public group. Or else not only with the public, you can also share with this particular role. For example, any lead record, for example, in support member, in support expert support, for example, okay, I have the lead record of, for example, if you say 50 lead records in my Salesforce, 50 lead records. Okay, out of 50 lead records, 10 owned by ownership owned by user A. Okay, 10 owned by user B. 10 owned by user C. Ownership. Okay, not the creator by. Okay, 10 owned by user D, like this. 10 by user D. Now, I have a public group. I have public group. Expert support. In this expert support, user A and user B are members of my expert support. Okay, members of this expert support group. Now, since I have selected the expert support, who are actually owner of these records. For example, so these 20 records, okay, are owned by user A and user B. Okay, so then these 20 records will be automatically shared with this users whoever is actually assigned with this SVP human resource role. So automatically, if any lead record who is actually owner, for example, if I am the owner, if I am part of this expert support, then automatically share that lead record with this with this role. Role means not the role specifically, all the users who are assigned with this role. Clear? So that's how this based on owner. Clear, right? Any confusion on this one? Even if I have small or simple confusion, please let me know. Okay, I will explain it again. If owner of the lead record is in this expert group, okay, then see, for example, in this expert group, I can have n number of users. Okay, n number of users. Okay, so as I mentioned, these three people are not part of this expert group. Then the records owned by this C, D, or E will not be shared with this role users. Only the records owned by these two users will be shared because these two people are owners and they're part of this expert. Are you clear on this requirement now or explanation now? Hello? Hello? Guys, please respond.
Hi, yes, no.
Are you clear on the